Spiritual Teaching 142. Love one another. 1. My love descends to you to ask you to fulfill the mandates that I have taught you throughout your existence. I contemplate that you are full of grace, anointed and prepared for the fulfillment of your mission, and I want to gather the fruits of the seed that I have given you. I want to enjoy your humility and goodwill. If I have offered you that the world will be full of grace and blessings through your intercession, it is because I have given you power so that you can see your good works multiply beyond this earth, through your intercession to the needy spirits. Because truly I tell you, not only is this world going through an era of difficulties and trials for its purification, but also in other valleys there is restitution and pain. 2. Assimilate my teaching, feel my word. Just as she is sweet and loving, she is also severe. You must understand it and analyze it. Do not let this seed be carried by the wind without germinating in your heart, because tomorrow you will need it. What do you expect to regulate your life in the practice of my mandates? Do not fear the tests, because it would be very painful for you. Do it out of love and conviction. Comply with the precept that tells you, love each other. 3. Take advantage of this time when I am speaking to you with great clarity and let me guide you. Think that your future will be of peace if you comply with my law. 4. Penetrate yourselves. Examine yourselves in the light of your conscience, and you will see that I speak to you with justice, that I am not coming to sow terror, but I warn you so that you live alert. 5. My word is food for the spirit. I have spoken to you at all times. In the present, using yourselves, I have left this message for humanity. I'm watching over the world while he sleeps. I have appeared before you, and just as in the second era, on the day of my departure, I ascended before my disciples as they watched me leave in spirit. So I now come to you, full of glory to judge all beings. 6. Today my light bathes all humanity. From nations and regions, your brothers will come to this land in search of my word when they have news of these teachings. At that time I will no longer communicate by human understanding as I do today, and you, the faithful, will teach yourselves to raise your spirit to commune with me, and to everyone you will show my printed word and the testimony that you have gathered from my teaching. You will tell them that I did not become a man, but that I came in spirit, and thus I have remained among you eternally. 7. Today that you commemorate my passion, I tell you that I have once again gone to Calvary, that my passion is renewed at every moment. War, sin, and materialism form a cross of offense to your God. You who have understood my word, you will join me in a great fight against sin. The spirit armies have waged their battle, they will unite. 8. Trials will wake the world. The good news will reach everyone, and they will know that I have come to leave one more testament and to judge their works. 9. I do not want those of you who have heard me to cry later, for not having understood my divine manifestation. Pray, and in your prayer will receive the light to penetrate this new revelation that I am giving you. 10. I grant you the gift of peace. If you remain prepared, you will spread it in your thoughts and actions. This time be precious in which you gather to elevate your spirit and inhabit the spiritual regions from where you converse with me. They will not return. Neither will you hear my word again through human channels, after the time indicated by my will. 11. Watch and pray, and you will see my word fulfilled. 12. I am giving you a new lesson. Each of them comes to prepare yourselves for the fulfillment of your mission. You are beginning to understand that you did not come to the earth only to preserve your body, to accumulate or crave honors. You are not needy in the way of life. If you have thought yourself poor, it is because you have not known how to look at what you carry in your spirit. Is it necessary that you lose what you have, so that you know how to assess what you have? No, my children, it is better that you have your gifts today. Have knowledge of them so that you can use them for the benefit of your spirit. 13. If my doctrine seems strange to you, I tell you that you are strangers, because both I and my law are immutable and eternal. Every time I come to you, I find you more distant, more stained, and therefore more lost from the road. Does the way I communicate with you now seem new to you? It is not new. Did you want my voice to be heard in infinity without the mediation of men? Nor would that form be new, since in the first era, I made my voice heard before the people gathered on the slopes of Mount Sinai. And what happened to that people when they heard the voice of their father? His ears, his heart, and his mind were powerless to receive that manifestation of power, to the point of having then to cover their ears so as not to listen, and to ask Moses to intercede with Jehovah so that he would stop speaking, because his voice was like the roar of the storm. My voice at that time descended from my spirit to your mind, while now I am preparing you to rise up to where my Father's love awaits you and to listen to me spirit to spirit. 14. Despite the fact that at all times I have manifested myself full of clarity, because of his materialism man has doubted. There even on Sinai, under the sublime tests and manifestations I gave to the people, those hearts wavered, and at every step they were ready to turn their backs on me. In every weakness of the people my charity was manifested, and in the end only my truth shone. 15. If I tell you about my manifestation as a man, I will have to tell you that despite having been announced long ago, the world was sleeping and could not recognize me, since Jesus opened his eyes in this world, until the moment of closing them, while hanging on the cross. My heart was wounded throughout its journey by the doubt of men. 16. They doubted the divinity of Christ in Jesus, judging him by his humility, by the poverty of his clothes and his lack of material power and flow of the earth. And still in their agony, the doubt of those men was nailed in their heart, as if each of your questions were dots. How is it possible that your body bleeds being God? How is it possible for the Son of God to die? 17. 2,000 years have passed for some to understand these lessons, and many more will have to pass for all to understand them. 18. If now someone says that I have arrived by surprise, they are not telling you the truth, because I announced my new coming to you. I predicted the signs that I would give you. But if you were sleeping when I gave you the signs, how could you notice them? 19. Just as in the second era my presence was not in the same way as in the first, also in this era my manifestation is different, being the same doctrine. I have always announced my arrival centuries in advance, to find you prepared, not to find your home in disarray and embarrass you with my visit. I wanted you to have everything ready upon my arrival, so that when calling at your door you could say to me like the virgins in my parable, "Come, Master, welcome to your home." But it has been your doubt that has come to receive me. Doubt because of the form of my manifestations and my communication. Doubts before the prodigies that I grant you, which you come to attribute to evil powers. Doubts before poverty and humility of my new servants and of the places in which I am manifesting myself. But I know that after my departure from this manifestation, faith will come and the understanding of it, as happened in the past, despite your coldness, of your doubt and your materialism. 20. I come to you because I love you, because I knew that in the time of my new manifestation I would find you as a flock without a shepherd, as a sick person without a doctor, and as a nursery without a teacher. I come to prepare a portion of humanity to be the one that sows the good seed in the new lands, because you have entered a new era, the era of spirituality. 21. From now until 1950, take advantage of my word that like a spring spills from the heavens on your heart. Store it so that you can deliver it in abundance after my departure. Strengthen yourselves in my doctrine, so may your spirits not waver. See that there will be those who will have to answer for this teaching before courts. You will be concrete to say with all truth what I taught you. After 1950 your memory, it will clarify to remember my teachings, but you will also receive new and unknown lessons by revelation. 22. Someone from the bottom of his heart is saying to me at this moment, Lord, why don't you make in my way those wonders that you did in the days when I began to follow you? If now I am more prepared and have more faith, it is that you have not known how to observe. Nor am I now doing the wonders that I did in the second era. That time was the one of your awakening to the life of the Spirit. It was of trials and material miracles. Today is time for spiritual wonders. How was it possible that your spirit was always at the same height and that it came to you to repeat the same lesson? 23. When you came to my presence to hear my word, I did amazing wonders to encourage your faith. Today you already have that light. Why do you keep demanding what only corresponds to the weak? Now it's up to you to do with your brothers what I did with you. 24. Today I teach you my law, and I say to you, my peace be with you, as well as the purity in your thoughts, so that you listen to what the word tells you on this day. Peace I bring to men who on earth restore, with love some, with pain others. I come to expose before your eyes those blemishes of the Spirit, which your heart does not know, so that you wash them patiently. I also make you feel the great responsibility that you have contracted before my work. 25. In humble and simple hands, but jealous, I have placed my work in the third era, so that with your works honor and glorify it. 26. I give you my word in the privacy of these houses which I call enclosures and not temples, so that they are not confused with those where there are ceremonies and rites. You know that through this doctrine, I am raising in the bottom of your heart the true temple of the living God. Each congregation of those that meet in the precincts he will elevate according to his love, his obedience and his goodwill in fulfillment of my precepts. 27. It is my will that you all work for the greatness of my work, because times of great importance are approaching your spirit. Are those in which my light made voice and thought vibrates from the infinite in your spirit in the highest communication you can reach. You cannot say that at this time the Spirit of the Lord has penetrated into the brain of the spokesperson, because a human being is incapable of harboring what is universal power. It has been a ray of light divine who has descended on the mind of the predestined to transmit my teaching. This is how the truth flows by those ignorant lips, and this will be the beginning of the destruction of idolatry and religious fanaticism. 28. These men possess the grace to serve as a seat or pedestal of the divine ray, and their brains and their lips as interpreters of the verb, and, in spite of this, they must remain simple men like the others. 29. I want simplicity in all your works. I am pleased with the humble of heart. Remember, I was born in a stable among shepherds, because in them I found purity to feel and to believe. Still none of you have had for cradle a manger, but it was your king who had to do it, to give you an example of humility. 30. Why do I come again among men after having given them those eternal life lessons? Why have men performed rites from each of my examples? Feel me, and don't try to imagine me in this or that way, because any of them will lead you away from the truth. As Eternal Father, do not try to imagine me as an old man like the one you paint, because neither time nor struggle leaves traces in the spirit of the Creator, since I am in time and not like you, subject to it. 31. My word will make men uncomfortable again as in the times past, but I'll tell you the truth, without betraying anyone. I said hypocrite to hypocrite, adulterer to adulteress, and wicked to wicked. The truth had been vexed, and it was necessary for it to shine forth, just as now when the truth has been hidden, and that is why it has to emerge again in the eyes of men. What do I teach you now? To bless everything and everyone with the heart and spirit, because whoever blesses like this is similar to his Father, by making his warmth reach everyone. That is why I tell you, learn to bless with the Spirit, with the thought, with the heart, and your peace, your strength and your warmth will reach the one to whom you send it. Be sure with faith that you believe it. What if all men bless each other, even without ever knowing or having seen each other? That peace would reign perfect on earth. War would be inconceivable. For this miracle to take place, it is necessary that you raise your spirit through perseverance in virtue. Do you think it impossible? 32. How many great converted sinners reached the degree that you call holiness? Those were not originally better than you. You have not yet reached that degree of perfection. You begin to love. The gift of intuition begins to bear fruit, and you already have inspiration. Because when I touch you, you answer. Not all doors are sensitive to my call, but those that open are those that let pass my light among you. The transformation of the sinner is not impossible. Remember some names from the second era: Magdalena, Peter, Augustine, Francisco de Assis. 33. These that I mention knew of sin and even of the mire of passions, and instead now shine as lights in heaven, and as illuminators of men they send their light to you. 34. Only I can reveal the unknown to you, so I can tell you that in vain men of today try to know the youth of Jesus on earth. They scrutinize and imagine, but only my childhood and the time of my preaching. I say to you, Jesus, before rising to announce the kingdom of heaven, he learned nothing from men. What did he who in his childhood confused the doctors of the law have to learn from them? That time, of which men know nothing, was only a time of waiting. 35. If you learn from me with love in your heart, it is impossible for you to be wrong. 36. This is how I am preparing you. Today some of you come, and for you others come, and for those, others will approach. Each day and each generation will feel me closer, because their spirituality will be greater. 37. Do charity each day. That will be your best elevation towards my spirit. Give, help, comfort, and that it will be your best prayer of the day, because you will speak to the Father with works, not with words, even if they are beautiful in form but empty at the bottom. 38. Pray towards me with your thought. You do not need a specific place to do it, and the position of your body is indifferent. Raise your thoughts in peace to the heights, and then wait for my inspiration. 39. What I am going to tell you today, not even the prophets know. In my high judgments, only I can reveal it to you. Do not fear or ignore the intimate judgments of your Father. Be happy knowing that, as Master, I will always be revealing new lessons. Why think that he wants to hide something from you, just so that you ignore it? I love you, and in my Father's heart egoism cannot exist. If I approach you, it is to enlighten your spirit so that he can understand me and love me. 40. I have come in the Spirit among you, but not all have believed me, nor have all felt me. Many have denied me, and others will deny me. If before those who deny me I manifested myself in 1,000 different ways, they would not recognize me, because the way they have conceived me has them confused. 41. I have never hidden behind a disguise to present myself to the world, but I have limited myself to be looked at, heard, and understood by men. 42. Why don't you advance on the path of your spiritual evolution? Should I agree with your delay? If you were prepared, and I manifested myself in a stone to speak to you through it, even in that shape would be recognized by you, those who know my essence, wherever they can feel me. On the other hand, those who they have forged a false image of my divinity, even if they contemplated me in all my splendor, they would not know to recognize me and even deny me. 43. How strange is it that I communicate through the understanding of a man? I'm not hiding, I'm present. Whoever wants to try it, let him cleanse his heart, his mind, and with his spiritual eyes he will contemplate the truth. 44. Nobody like man can reflect the divine spirit. The mind of man, it is the mirror of divine reason. His heart is the source where I keep love. Your consciousness is the light of my spirit. If you doubt that you have such great gifts and feel unworthy of them, it is not my fault, it is yours, because you have not yet understood the infinite love I have for you. See that I have not come to judge you only for your sins, that your stains have not been an obstacle, so that I may manifest myself before you in this way. But if the men of science tomorrow misjudge these manifestations, it will not be me who they judge, but themselves. 45. I form man with such perfection that, contemplating himself, he will be able to see a reflection of his Father. But man has not known how to look at himself, or penetrate inside. That is why he has not recognized me. 46. In the different ages I have manifested myself to men in unexpected ways. Who would have told you that in the second era, the promised Messiah, the Son of God, would not even have a humble home to be born in? Who would have told you that Mary, the carpenter's wife, would be the mother of Jesus? 47. From my first steps on earth I gave samples of my power, and yet for many I was not even sensed. 48. In this time I have not come to surprise you. If you had prepared transmitting from father to son, from generation to generation, the promise of my new coming, I would have found waiting for my arrival. But no one was waiting for me. Some had forgotten these prophecies. Others you did not know because they were hidden. How few of you scanned the sky and observed the events of the world in search of the signs that were to announce the time of my arrival. 49. However, those who were awaiting my return as a comforting spirit feel that time has arrived and that Christ has spiritually come to humanity. Others have heard the rumors of my coming, and they have not believed. 50. Jesus said to his disciples, "Only a time will I be absent from you. I will be back." Then it was revealed to them that his master would come on the cloud surrounded by angels and sending rays of light towards the earth. 51. Here I am on the cloud, surrounded by angels who are the spiritual beings who have come to manifest among you as messengers of my divinity and as your good advisors. 51. Here I am on the cloud, surrounded by angels who are the spiritual beings who have come to manifest among you as messengers of my divinity and as your good advisors. The rays of light are my word that speaks to you of new revelations, that overflows wisdom in all understanding. 52. Blessed are those who have believed without seeing, because they are those who feel my presence. 53. Watch, for this is the time when temptation fights tirelessly to beat you. She senses that the moment when she is tied is approaching. It has thousands of tricks to separate you from me, but you must pray and watch so that the way to avoid all threats is revealed to you. I have taught you to know the true taste of the divine fruit that is the essence of my work. I have taught you the way of virtue and the fulfillment of your spiritual and human duties. That is the way. How could you get confused? 54. Do not run from trials. Learn to face them. It will not be enough for you to close your door to be safe. With the closed door, danger will penetrate. Do not be tempted by low passions. 55. Get ready, because you will be fought with theories that are in preparation. Stay alert, because false prophets will appear. Do not sleep believing that you have won the battle without having won the first test yet. 56. Do not fear the fight. Watch and you will win. The spirit is invulnerable. Every other weapon is fragile. That's the fight with the spirit. May your gaze always contemplate clearly, and you will have your adversary at your mercy, because anger will blind you, because you do not know spirituality. 57. I do not want ministers or priests of spiritualism. I simply want apostles. I don't want you to tell the world that you will be teachers. No, be my good toddlers, and through you, I will deliver great teachings. 58. If you prepare yourself, that time of struggle, instead of pain, will be recreational, because in it wonders will be seen. 59. My word has resounded in heaven, and its echo has been heard in your world. 60. On this day of grace I receive you. You are the toddlers of Christ, always small before the greatness of my doctrine. I fan the light of your lamp and remove the thorns that you yourselves have cultivated to make your blood bleed life. Receive the balm that heals all wounds and thereby stop suffering. 61. Listen to me and then analyze my word that I give you with simplicity, but that has a deep meaning. In her you will find locked up my teaching, which is all love and justice. 62. I have given myself to you by sending you my divine effluvium. I have manifested my comforting spirit to you, but you have not come to understand still the meaning of this manifestation and have prevented it from being clearer, because by misjudging your brothers, you are causing disunity, preventing or closing the channel through which you receive my messages. Because there is no union or love between my people, you have been moving away from the source of grace, because you will not be able to affirm that you love me, if you do not do it with your brothers. 63. My laws are just, and disobedience to one of them is enough for the world to lose its peace. Larger and more delicate of what you have supposed are my laws. That is why the works that men have done since the beginning of humanity, they still reverberate and spread like a wake that reaches you. 64. Nations are nothing more than man-made limitations. The peoples, religions, large or small groups, are outside my laws, each ignoring each other, others, judging the actions of others that they do not have to judge. Everyone has a lot to correct himself, both or more than he finds wrong in his kindred. 65. Men speak of laws, but they do not carry them within their hearts. They do not feel or practice them. The moment of awakening for the Spirit. I have come to polish hearts that are like rocks, because they don't shine like they should, as jewels much loved by their Creator. How few are those I find with true courage, but my patience is infinite. I am the Master who eternally teaches, polishes, and perfects your spirit. 66. Do not take man as an example of perfection. Look for the Father as a model, without coming to be discouraged when you see that a brother of yours does a bad deed. Do not let your faith weaken, because you are all falling and rising along the path of restitution. Sometimes it is necessary that you start the walk again. Get up and live in me. If you lack the strength to start your fight, take them and lean on me. 67. Why have you allowed the source of love that I have placed in you to dry up? Don't you know that love is life and redemption? Speak with words of love. Spread my precepts and feel my strength, because you must know that I have come to renew all your gifts to the Spirit, and the more you work, the stronger you will be. 68. I have come to teach you, and I want to correct you as well. Know yourselves penetrating inside you. Do not let it fool you to believe that you have advanced a lot. If you don't learn to forgive and love before, you need to be clean and practice humility. Only then can you feel that you are the owners of your gifts, capable of doing great works and to go everywhere. Then there will be no obstacle that can stop you, and all danger will disappear. You can descend into the darkness and you will not be confused. On the contrary, you will shine with greater light, and you will be able to rescue those who live there. 69. I have made known to you from the beginning of time these precepts. You shall love God with all your heart and spirit, and you love your neighbor as yourself. Compliance with these laws, which in their duality become one, would fill of joy, peace, and bliss to this world. If you analyze that by not having obeyed these precepts, man has suffered and has lost the route, then you will dare to start a new life. And you will see that there is much to do in your world inside and also close to your brothers.
70. Love is capable of igniting faith in a single instant, uniting men, awaken in them many faculties that are asleep today, give new light in the eyes of the body and the spirit. If you carry love in your heart, you will have heaven within you. 71. When the world loves, peace will descend to it. My kingdom and my presence will be in each spirit, and you will be prepared to enjoy spiritual life, in which you will achieve perfect bliss. 72. How many times will you have to return to earth to carry a body through which it manifests itself more and more to clarify the message you bring to the world? Let your spirit, like a lark, find its spring in this life and enjoy it, and in your pilgrimage find the necessary experience to return to me. While the rich accumulate treasures, which are too ephemeral, you must accumulate experience, true knowledge. 73. I want you to form believing homes of the one God, homes that are temples where love is practiced, patience and self-denial. In them you must be teachers of the children, whom you must surround with tenderness and understanding, watching over them, following all their steps with interest. Lavish your love as well as those who have been endowed with beauty, as those who apparently present ugliness. Not always a beautiful face is the reflection of an equally beautiful spirit. Instead, behind those creatures of apparent ugliness can hide a spirit full of virtue, whom you should appreciate. 74. Pray with humility, and let my will be done in you, because what you ask is not always the right, the noble, or the good. There I will be the one who gives you what is convenient for you so that you have a peaceful and happy life. My peace be with you.